You're not going to get only one car in your lifetime, but you're going to get one body and one mind, and that's all you're going to get. And that body and mind feels terrific now, but it has to last you a lifetime. But let's just imagine that when we finish, I'm going to let each one of you pick out the car of your choice. Sounds good, doesn't it? Pick it out, any color, you name it. It'll be tied up with a bow, and it'll be at your house tomorrow. And you say, well, what's the catch? And the catch is that it's the only car you're going to get in your lifetime. Now, what are you going to do knowing that that's the only car you're ever going to have and you love that car? You're going to take care of it like you cannot believe. Now, what I'd like to suggest, you're not going to get only one car in your lifetime, but you're going to get one body and one mind, and that's all you're going to get. And that body and mind feels terrific now, but it has to last you a lifetime.
Why is sleep so important? Growth hormone is the fundamental vitality hormone of the body. Without growth hormone, you don't feel as young, you don't look as young, you don't act as young. The number one way we get growth hormone is through sleep. And as it begins to diminish, both the growth hormone and our ability to sleep, we pay a terrible price. So the question then becomes, why don't we sleep? It turns out at least half of the time, it's about sleep hygiene, which is not understanding how basic things influence us, like lights. When lights are visible to our eyes, it turns off the ability of the pineal gland to make melatonin. Without melatonin, you don't glide into sleep. Forget this myth about falling to sleep. You don't fall anywhere. You have to glide into sleep gently. So turning your lights down about a half hour before bedtime, or using orange lights. Now they have new LED lights which don't emit any of those bright blue rays that awaken us. Hugely valuable in allowing us to slowly feel more tired.
What to eat and basically what not to eat is the general topic. You've come up with the term nutritarian. What does that mean? Can you describe it for us, please?
Sure. Well, a nutritarian understands that what they eat affects their future life, their future health, and that we're in control of our health destiny. And that a diet rich in nutrients, in the amount of nutrients, and the broad spectrum of nutrients humans need, if that's present on a regular basis, you're going to be in great health. So the feature here is that nutritarians eat lots of healthy food to get lots of nutrients, and they avoid overly processed, high-calorie junk food. We recognize that if we're going to live a long time, we want to have our full mental faculties intact. We want to have our body working. We want to enjoy our playtime. We have a good health span, a good play span, right? And have a great, healthy life because food matters. We are what we eat.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting the most nutrition out of every bite is how I
That's right.
understand.
Nutritional bang per caloric buck. You got it.
Yeah, and you have the Andy scoring chart, which I love. That goes over the exact nutritional quantities of different foods.
That's right. The word ANDI stands for Aggregate Nutrient Density Index, which adds up all those 36 different nutrients in each food to see which foods have the most. And it really is just a tool to demonstrate to people how much nutrients are really in colorful produce, like green vegetables, compared to eating something like a piece of chicken or a bagel, which almost has nothing. Because most people don't realize that processed foods are almost void of nutrients, and that animal products have no fiber, no antioxidants, no phytochemicals, and very small amount of vitamins and minerals. If you're going to want your body and your brain to be nutritionally nutrified, so to speak, right, so you can live a long life, you've got to eat a tremendous amount of colorful plant food and reduce animal products and processed foods either all the way or to almost nothing.
General rules of thumb. Drink or eat as many ounces of water every day as are equal to half your body weight in pounds. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water per day. Drink more in hot weather or after strenuous exercise. Drink or eat until your urine is clear. Limit fluids that actually dehydrate your body, including soda, coffee, and tea, alcohol. Drink and eat water between meals. So that's like a little lemon in your water or a little Himalayan sea salt. And it's okay to drink water with meals. Digestive enzymes are hydrolytic. They're activated by water. Hydrate gradually through the day. Don't drink or eat all at once. Hydrate before, during, and after exercise. And beware of sugary sports drinks. Once you begin hydrating your body optimally, you will notice that many symptoms in your body clear up. Because when you're hydrated, which you can do also through exercise to move the fluid around, everything works better.
Yeah, generally speaking, the best prescription is exercise. Exercise can save you a ton of money over the course of years. Hundreds, if not thousands of studies show that exercise lowers your risk for serious health problems, including heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, and certain forms of cancer. What's more, it strengthens your muscles, eases arthritis pain, and preserves independence. Oh yeah, and you'll look more fit too, and feel better about yourself, and about life in general, and improve your overall confidence.
It turns out that you need to move for 20 minutes a day. Just walk, right? And you could do yoga, you could do whole body vibration, you could do all sorts of whatevers, but just moving around for 20 minutes a day. And then once or maybe twice a week, lift something really heavy or do something that makes you pretty much want to throw up, like really fast sprint and then stop, but do it twice. That's all it is, just to raise your heart rate and get it back down quickly. Those two things are going to create the stimulus you need.
We must learn to center ourselves amid the chaos, the stress, the struggle, the challenge, the bad day. We must, in the moment, be able to flip from anger to peace. In the moment, be able to flip from stress to clarity, to ease, to freedom. We must teach ourselves to center ourselves both when we don't need it and when we do need it. And I think that's what's really important. I think one of the greatest disciplines we can ever give ourselves is this topic of centering. And so we must actively train ourselves as if we were going to have 10 times the pressure on us as we seek to achieve our dreams. Because I'm sure how many of you guys feel like the next mountain you climb is going to demand so much more of you than the last one? Like many of you guys, you got your dreams and your eyes set on huge ambitions, huge aspirations to provide for your family, to change the world, to do something significant and important. And when you've got that big dream way up there, trust me, it will demand more of you next time. So you must start training your mind now to deal with stress. Many of you, that means it is finally time to start learning meditation. It's like you've been thinking about it, you kind of meditate once in a while, and you've thought about it, or you did that one retreat one time. I'm like, make it a daily part of your life to center yourself every single day.
One of my favorite experiences, which was my first day of monk school, and I'm watching this 10-year-old monk, and he's teaching a group of 5-year-old monks. So I'm eavesdropping, wondering what they're talking about, and I'm fascinated. And so after the class finishes, the 10-year-old monk, who's like this regal, like young man who's just so confident but elegant. And I said to him, "What are you teaching?" He said, "Well, that was their first day of monk school." And I said, "Oh, tell me what you taught them." And he said, "Well, what did you learn the first day of your school?" And I was like, "I think I learned the alphabet and counting from 1 to 10. So I said, "What did you teach?" He said, "I taught people how to breathe." He said, "The first thing you learn at monk school is learning how to breathe." And I said, "Come again, why?" And he said, "Because we're taught that the only thing that's there with you from the moment you're born to the moment you die is your breath. Your friends change, your family change, the country you live in changes, but your breath will be there for you." And he said, when you get angry, what changes? Your breath. When you get sad, what changes? Your breath. When you're happy, what changes? Your breath. So all of our greatest emotions in life are experienced through breath. So if we learn to manage and navigate our breath as a starting priority, then you'll never be fazed in life by any challenges that arise. And
being aware of your breath.
Being aware of your breath and recognizing how the breath is literally the pillar, the central core of your physical and mental being.
Time in nature is very important. We know that people who live near green zones, forests, or blue zones, oceans, have a higher life expectancy and a lower all-cause mortality, meaning death from any cause. We also know that if you take two groups of people and one takes a break and takes a walk in a city and the other takes a walk in the forest, it's only the group that walks in the forest that reports higher levels of subjective well-being and lower scores of fatigue, depression, and anxiety. So there's something therapeutic about time in nature.
If you had to guess what that is, what is that?
I believe they're known as phytocyanides that are the part of what make up the scents from trees that lower blood pressure. So there is something therapeutic about nature. Some evidence has shown that children who have allergic conditions of the skin tend to grow up in areas where there's less diverse plant life around them. And some of those bacteria from the plants get on the skin, and they find that the more diversity of the plants, the higher diversity of the bacteria in the skin, the lower the amount of inflammation and allergy in the skin. So some of this may literally be transfer of microbes from the natural environment. And then sun exposure is another one. You don't want to burn, but it's clearly being shown that avoiding the sun is as bad for your health as smoking. And we do see that chronic sun avoidance is correlated with a number of health detriments. Constant, chronic, low-dose exposure to the sun, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on most days, is a pretty reasonable recommendation that has been correlated with decreased all-cause mortality as well as decreased incidence of breast cancer, I believe, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a number of things.
Did you realize that the biggest benefit of intermittent fasting has nothing to do with weight loss? Okay, so the biggest benefit has to do with this new concept called autophagy. I don't know if you've heard about it before, but if you haven't, you're going to hear about it, but it's incredible actually. Autophagy is the condition or state whereby the cells are recycling damaged cell parts, okay? So it's a recycling, it's taking out the trash, clears all the trash out of the cell. It's also getting rid of pathogenic microbes. Okay, so basically anything like mold, fungus, bacteria, virus sitting in the cell, and anything that's damaged, not working. So each cell has a little garbage disposal called a lysosome, composed of enzymes to break down these parts into small little particles, which are then sent to the liver to be used either as energy or recycling into new tissue. Okay? Autophagy was discovered by a Japanese scientist in 2016. So just think about the magnitude. If you were able to extract pathogenic microbes, damaged things out of your cell, think what's going to happen to your brain, cognitive effects, anti-aging for your skin, longevity, immune system. It's incredible. So the thing that stimulates this the most is fasting and intermittent fasting.
Three things that can make a profound difference. A, combine a lot of sunlight exposure with high intake of minerals. Number two would be to subject your body to the rigors of cold stress. Cold increases your rate of weight loss, it increases your mitochondrial health, it increases your cellular resilience. There are a whole host of beneficial things it can do for you. And the best way to do that is you simply start and end each day with a cold shower. And then finally, identify some point during any 24-hour cycle, such as from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m., where you can go 12 to 16 hours without eating.